Dear learners, now we are in section 3. In this section, we shall discuss the theory of demand and supply. Let us start with quantity demanded. How can we define quantity demanded? The amount of a commodity or the number of units of a commodity that the consumers want to buy at a given price under ceteris paribus condition is called quantity demanded for a product. The term ceteris paribus bears significance. It's a Latin phrase that stands to mean other things remaining constant. Quantity demanded for a product mainly depends on its price. When we go for shopping, for example, and want to buy a product, we first ask the price of the product to the seller, isn't it? And if price of a product rises, its quantity demanded falls. And if price falls, quantity demanded rises. So quantity demanded depends on its price. But besides price, there are some other factors that may influence the quantity demanded for a product. Some of the factors are tastes, preference, income of the consumer, prices of substitute goods, prices of complementary goods, population size, etc. While we define quantity demanded, all these factors are considered to be constant, which we call ceteris paribus condition. Therefore, the condition ceteris paribus is very important while we define quantity demanded. Law of demand and demand curve. Law of demand states that the relationship between price of a product and its quantity demanded is inverse. That is, if price of a product rises, its quantity demanded falls. And if price falls, quantity demanded rises. But again, while we state the law of demand, we assume ceteris paribus condition. That is, all other factors that may influence quantity demanded for a product besides price, like income of the consumer, taste, preference of the consumer, prices of substitute and complementary goods, are assumed to be fixed. We can explain the law using a figure. In figure, we are measuring the price of a product along the vertical axis and its quantity demanded is measured along the horizontal axis. At point A, price of the product is P1, at which Q1 amount of the product is demanded. And at point B, Q2 amount of the product is demanded at P2 price. If we move from A to B, price of the product falls from P1 to P2 and its quantity demanded rises from Q1 to Q2. Clearly, if price falls, quantity demanded for the product rises. That is, the relationship between price and quantity demanded is inverse, that the law of demand states. Joining the points like A and B, we can get the demand curve. The demand curve is downward. That shows the inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. Therefore, law of demand is always represented by a downward going demand curve.